Hey, hello. Hi. I'm sure you've had some weird foods in your lifetime. Maybe you've had some normal foods, like, most people do. What about the foods that you didn't even know existed? There might be some, I don't know, regional ones that you've never heard of, or ones from other countries, things like that. I found some online that I truly didn't think existed nor were possible, proving that we truly are out of God's reach. The first one that I found was a jellied moose nose. So it's trapping of moose nose within a gelatinized broth. Apparently it was created in like 1967 in the Northern Cookbook. I think it's a Canadian thing. I don't know that I would try jelly moose nose. I like Jello. Can't say I've had moose, let alone moose nose. Moose are scary. They're way too big. They are practically modern day dinosaurs to me. That's what it feels like. Also found fried rattlesnake. So what this is it is basically, it's found in the American Southwest, typically, specifically Arizona and Texas. So, sometimes they call it dessert whitefish. So that's definitely a choice. It's served up, breaded, deep fried, sometimes in chilies and stews. Sometimes they grill or saute it with butter and herbs. But the most common dishes that you'll find in the American Southwest of rattlesnake are rattlesnake chili and then barbecued snake meat. Now, would I give this a try? Probably. I want to try frog legs. Haven't tried frog legs. I want to, but I haven't. So I feel like this might be similar to that. I've read a couple reports that said that it tastes like frog legs, and I hear that frog legs taste like chicken. Next up, I found chocolate gravy, which is typically found in Appalachia. So what it is, it's a lesser known variation of biscuits and gravy. Southerners usually make it with a thick chocolate gravy to go on their biscuits. So it's typically is more of like a treat food, like a dessert treat food almost. It's said to have the consistency of somewhere between hot fudge and chocolate pudding. Hot take, this is a food show, so I'm going to boast my opinions on food. I think that there is such thing as too much chocolate. Fight me if you will, I stand by that. I don't think this will be too much chocolate. I don't know that I put it on biscuits though. I feel like it's a bit of an odd choice. I've heard of weirder, grosser foods than melted chocolate over biscuits. Next up, I had clam pie. I need to get a bite bowl and start praying. This is typically found in Connecticut. I have family in Connecticut. We visit there a lot. I haven't ever tried clam pie, nor have I heard of it. So this was a shock. To be frank, it's probably not as awful as it sounds. There are a couple different dishes that go by the name of clam pie, but what it is, it's basically just clams on pizza. I've had breaded clams before, and I like them. I like seafood. I'm a seafood guy. I feel like it wouldn't be so horrible. I mean, it looks pretty yummy, honestly. Usually have the like a white sauce topping, so it's like a white pizza just with clams. Obviously they're out of the shell, so it's just the clam meat. This one I've definitely heard of before. I just choose to believe that it doesn't exist. In Cambodia, they eat tarantulas. I've eaten crickets, I've eaten ants. Tarantulas are scary. I don't think I like their big legs in my mouth. I feel like that would make me incredibly uncomfortable. I feel like it's more of a texture thing for me that I would be strictly against. I'm sure they might taste fine, because crickets aren't that bad, truly, but the texture is very off-putting. Now this one, I've heard of, but I know a lot of people haven't heard of before. It's a century egg. It's a Chinese delicacy. It's eggs that have gone through a fermentation process. It looks horrible. It looks rotted. Sure, it would not taste good. The process behind making a century egg is actually really interesting. So what they do is they coat it in clay, ash, salt, and quicklime, and they leave it to sit for like over the course of a few weeks or a few months. It basically increases the pH level in it, so it reduces the acidity and gives eggs a unique color. They're translucent, which is scary, and I don't think that I want to experience that myself. So there's this other dish. I don't know the origins behind it. It's kind of straight from fiery pits of hell, so that's pretty much its origin. But what it is, it's called stargazy pie. Now, what it is, it's a pie containing pilchard fish, whole pilchard fish, heads included. They poke out the top of the pie to supposedly make it look like the fish are stargazing. I don't like my food looking at me when I eat it, so I'd probably be scared of that. I hope that you enjoy this fun little trip. I hope you enjoyed suffering. Maybe it'll expand your palate. Maybe if you want to try some of these foods, go ahead and do it. I highly encourage that. I want to try century egg. Enjoy the rest of this episode.